which I'm sure you understand. Want to be out there supporting the kids and also get here. So, all right, we're good? We're recording? Great. Welcome to the Wednesday, October 16th, 2024 Garrison Board of Education Business Meeting. Dusty, would you call the roll, please? Jocelyn Apicello. Should be here a few minutes late. Eric Arnold.
Here.
Jennifer Harrington-Wilson. She's excused. She sends her regrets this evening. She was not feeling well, and she's sorry to not see you all. Dan Jastown.
Here.
Peter Lesser.
Here.
Ken Schott. Be here in a few minutes, hopefully to report on a victory from the modified football team. And Sarah Torby. Here. All right. Pledge of Allegiance, please. All right. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Next up, we have accept agenda changes. Do I have any recommended changes this evening? We resolve the Board of Education of the Garrison Union Free School District hereby accept the agenda as presented. May I have a motion, please?
Okay.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstentions. All right, now I have the pleasure of welcoming the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery School Board. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know it's been a couple of years since you've come to this side of the river. It's always been a pleasure to travel with you, and I really appreciate you bringing everyone to join us for this meeting. We're going to introduce for the presentation, your superintendent and your administrative staff. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you, and you've got a great presentation.
This is one of my favorite meetings, because we get to showcase the wonderful James I. O'Neill High School, but also I don't really have to do a whole lot because I brought an amazing team with me as well. So you'll be hearing from Mrs. Haberman, our building principal, Mr. Tom Brightfellow, our assistant principal, and Ms. Heather Milano is our ninth grade guidance counselor. Also with us tonight, we have our assistant superintendent for curriculum, instruction and technology, Ms. Adelstein, and our assistant superintendent of business, Mr. Carvalho. So again, we're very thankful to have a wonderful partnership with the Garrison community. We're just excited to be able to hear and again showcase and highlight the amazing things that we have to offer for all of our high school students, and also tap into some of our current and former Garrison students, and they're going to talk about their experiences. And then at the end, we'll open up for questions and have some great conversation. So again, thank you for this evening, and I'll turn it over to Mrs. Haberman.
That's close for me. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity tonight to present information about our high school. Mr. McAduff already introduced, but I want to reintroduce Mr. Brightfellow, our assistant principal, Mrs. Heather Milano, our school counselor who meets with every ninth grader and their family to help make the transition into high school a very smooth one. And we also have special guest speakers tonight. We have Jillian August, a current senior, and Alec Mossick, a graduate of O'Neill class of 2020. And in recognition of Board Appreciation Week, we all want to thank both boards for your support in all of our programs, which enhance the school's culture and enable us to celebrate our many achievements. This is my 29th year in the high school, and my 18th year as an administrator, and Garrison has been a part of O'Neill. Certainly for as long as I can remember. The connection goes back, it seems, several decades. I recently came across some anecdotal stories which indicate that Garrison has been sending students to O'Neill since at least the late 1970s. It's always been a valuable relationship which has benefited both communities. I just want to start briefly with our vision, the vision of the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery Central School District is a school community focused on developing students as lifelong learners, equipped with critical thinking and problem-solving skills necessary to navigate and shape the future. And in that light, we provide students with global knowledge and the ability to compete. We teach leadership skills, we empower students to be responsible citizens and productive members of society. And most importantly, we provide a supportive environment for learning and personal growth. And our community is made up of course, 3 feeder schools: Garrison, West Point Middle School, and the Highland Falls Intermediate School. Each feeder school adds to O'Neill's character in a unique and special way. One of the advantages to having several feeder schools is that students have the opportunity to meet others with diverse backgrounds and help to broaden their perspectives. And next we have the agenda. So Mrs. Milano will talk about the portrait of a graduate. Our esteemed students will discuss their pathways to meeting graduation requirements, and in Alex's case, beyond graduation. And then Mr. Brightfeller is going to take us through the rest of the presentation.
So my name is Heather Milano. I'm the 9th grade school counselor at the high school. One of my roles is to work with both students and families and help them transition into high school. There's many ways that we do that. One is through parent meetings, one would be through school visits. But in springtime, I do meet with students and their families for individual registration meetings. And in those meetings, I have the opportunity to get to know students for their academic strengths, their interests in extracurricular activities, but we also get the opportunity to talk about graduation requirements. I think it's really important for students to know what they are working towards, what they can pursue, and really what's available to them. Now, in New York, all students have to graduate with a minimum of 22 credits. But there are multiple pathways that students can work towards in order to graduate. And those pathways are pretty much based off of the Regents exams that they are taking at the high school level. There are 2 diploma types, the Regents diploma and the Regents diploma with advanced designation. Both diplomas, students are able to earn with honors designation. What that means is that a student would have to have an average of a 90 or higher on the required assessments for that particular diploma type. Mastery in math means that a student is earning an 85 or higher on 3 math regents, which would mean algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. For mastery in science, a student would also have to take 3 regents exams. Life science being one of the regents, and then an additional 2, and earn an 85 or higher on those 3 exams. The AP Capstone Diploma, Mr. Brightfeller will speak to a little bit later. For the Seal of Biliteracy, any student who has attained proficiency in more than 2 languages, they are able to complete an application, have an interview, create a summative project, and then meet before a committee to have it determined whether they've met the requirements for a Seal of Biliteracy. And then for the Seal of Civic Readiness, students have to have earned up to 6 points. Well, they need 6 points for the Seal of Civic Readiness. 2 of those points have to be in civic knowledge, and the other 2 points have to be in civic participation. Students can start working towards meeting their points in as early as 8th grade. Through a middle school capstone project. So here at Garrison, my understanding is the students work through the Youth Climate Summit, and then I received information through a Garrison representative, and then I share that and relay it to our coordinator up at the high school. Now, in addition to talking with students about graduation requirements, I also have the opportunity to talk to them about what their current 8th grade schedule entails. So if a student is taking high school level courses in math, in which they're taking algebra, if they are taking a high school level course in science or living environment, and if they've taken 2 units of a foreign language and they pass their checkpoint A exam, they get credit for their foreign language. So some students are really entering high school with 3 high school credits, and that will be the start of our conversation as to what their trajectory of high school will look like for their 4 years as we do course planning. At O'Neill, we have honors, regents and honors level options for English, social studies, and math courses. We have advanced placement, so AP courses available in all subject areas. Students can start taking AP level courses in as early as their sophomore year. You also have dual enrollment with Syracuse University. The program is called Syracuse University Project Advance, in which students can earn college credit. And then we also have dual enrollment with SUNY Orange, in which students who are taking advanced college courses in Spanish or Chinese can earn college credit through SUNY I. So this is just an outline as to what a student can take in grade 9, then grade 10, then grade 11, but it really does depend sometimes on what they've started out taking as an 8th grader, and then how they continue, and then based off what their strengths are in the course. I would say at the high school, we don't track a student, so they always have the option to kind of accelerate into a content area if that's where their strength is. What I'd like to do is call up Jillian August. She is an active member of our school community. She's a strong student. She's involved in many activities, so she's going to share that with you now.
I mean, my 8th grade year was COVID year, so it looked a little different, but I still got like one of my credits, like I got my Spanish credit. So that was pretty cool. My 9th grade year, as Ms. Wanda said, it's like a lot of options, so I was not the best student, but O'Neill has definitely helped me become a better student. Like I took English, just normal English, regular global, like all the regular classes, and then yeah, it's pretty cool. And in my sophomore year, I started to actually feel more comfortable, and like O'Neill staff is like so supportive, so I definitely started to move up in life, and that's when I took pretty much the same normal classes. It was really like my junior year that I really excelled in school, and then I ended up taking 2 math classes. One being took so many classes over the last 4 years. I took, like right now I'm taking SUPA, which is the Syracuse class. So I definitely became a better student through O'Neill. And also like, I wasn't prepared. I was more prepared for questions. But yeah, I mean, overall, like they definitely helped me in ways that like I didn't even know I needed help in. Like even becoming like a better student. They really just showed me like ways I can be better and like learn better and like be overall a better student. And yeah, and like my junior year, I'll talk more about my junior year because obviously I'm senior, it's like October. I took 2 math classes, one being, sorry, I can't remember the name. That's okay. Okay.
If you want to move the questions at any point, you just let me know.
I mean, yeah, we can do questions.
Sure, Heather, and then we can hop back in. It is wonderful, first of all, to hear from a current student, and I really appreciate you taking the time, especially out of your senior year, to come meet with us. I find this is always the most valuable part of the presentations. My first question is, outside of academics, is there an extracurricular that you found particularly inspiring or that you enjoyed?
Yes, definitely the JROTC class. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it's basically like the junior army. It's really cool. It's taught me to be like a better leader, better citizen. Honestly, it's become like a better part of me. Like if you asked me to do this freshman year, like talking in front of a whole bunch of people, I'd be like, no way, like, but now, like, I'm not 100% comfortable, but like, I've definitely gotten better, and like, now I agree to it, so.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about the Syracuse program.
Yeah.
Called SUPO. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's SUPA Personal Finance. So it's a math class. It's really fun and interesting. You kind of learn all about like being like more or like being in the stock markets, learning like how to manage a payment or like pay your bills, how to create like bonds and shares. It's a really cool class. It's like definitely taught me about like real life math overall than stuff I probably won't use again, but it's taught me a lot of cool.
That's great. And so you'll get college credit for that as
Yes,
well? That's
I
great.
will.
Is there anything that you look back that you wish that Garrison would have given to you or helped you with as you entered high school that you didn't have in your toolbox? And you talked a lot about becoming a better student. Is there anything you think that Garrison could do to help kids be more prepared as they go into high school?
Again, so it was COVID year, so it wasn't like much that we could have done because it was like, I mean, as it's probably still today, like I had a class of 18, so pretty small, but I would say probably not. I mean, you guys definitely prepared me. Like I was I was an athlete back then too, and it's taught me how to like manage my time and like do all that cool stuff and still be like a student.
Can I just make a statement for the board? I had the opportunity to meet with Jillian, go over to O'Neill, thank you for inviting me, have some lunch with about 6 Garrison students. Jillian was one of them. And I was just incredibly impressed with your candor and how much you expressed about how O'Neill has helped you kind of expand your social circles, what your interest levels are. Can you talk a little bit about it? And Ken, your question is one I asked too. And I got a very similar response that Garrison did a really great job preparing the students for high school. The only thing that Jillian and her classmates shared with me is that how supportive the O'Neill staff was, the teachers, the administration, the counselors. Can you talk about that level of support, how you share with what maybe you shared with me, like coming from here, from Garrison, a class at 18, going to a larger high school. Can you talk a little bit about how O'Neill helped you on that process?
Yeah, so as you know, like 3 schools come together. So my freshman year, I felt really nervous because I did come like a class of 18, now we're like a class of 100. So I was super scared, like I was gonna know no one. But overall, like my first day, the teachers even got involved, like we did a lot of team building activities and everyone kind of just like joined in with each other. And there was really no like being shy or anything. It was kind of like, oh, we gotta jump in, like we all have to be friends. And obviously, like, there's gonna be cliques, but like with O'Neill, the cliques don't really stay cliques. Like, everyone's kind of friends with everyone, whether you do like sports or if you're in theater or in plays. It kind of just all changes around, so everyone's kind of like still friendly with each other. So yeah, it's kind of really cool in that sense. And then the staff, it's like they're really supportive. Like I'm not like I really thought that I would never take like a college level class in high school, and O'Neill definitely like helped me like know what I need to do, and all the teachers have helped me in like ways that I don't even know, like even with public speaking. I was gonna do public speaking, and then I was like, oh no, like, but then my teacher like tried to like convince me, and I was like, no. But even like talking in front of like a class now, I feel definitely 100% more comfortable because everyone's kind of like friends with each other, and
Something that I find really interesting about the physical class, the program will be AP classes, right? Because when you take you have to get a 3, 4, or 5 to get credit at college. And there's some instruction there for the age. With the physical class, you have to pass that class, and you will get 3 credits. And then you get it's saving you a lot of money. They're really cool. In Orange County, the language, the Orange County, they're so reasonable. And most students, and all the SUNY schools, and some other universities as well will take those credits, but it really helps students because it takes a break within a semester, and we all know how expensive college is. So any little bit can help. And what I love about our counselors is they encourage the students. Like you're saying, they encourage the students to do it, even if the students don't have that strength in them. Our guidance counselors are fantastic at encouraging them to teach them. And that's what that makes them so special. Encouraging, and I love hearing your, because it seems like it comes so far, it makes me laugh to hear. I wish you all the best.
Can I put what made your decision to go on?
It was sports mainly, but then I kind of got there on the new student orientation day, and I really it felt like family. Like I know that sounds like, oh, it felt like family, but like no, like everyone kind of like got together, and it didn't matter where you came from because there were 3 different schools, so it's kind of like everyone was a new kid, and it just honestly it felt like a community.
And you have to teach them success.
Thank you so much for really appreciate it. And you please find it whenever we're so fortunate to have your share.
Well, so attractive.
Right, if you're releasing your public speaking, congratulations, that
And so now I'm gonna pull up our so then he could come and just explain, kind of like, you know, the ending of his time at James I. O'Neill and where that has led him to his future. And he just graduated college, which is pretty
Good evening. Thank you, Ms. Milano, Ms. Harriman, and to the Howland Falls, Montgomery's, and Garrison school boards. I believe the last time that I stood before this board was about 4 years ago, when myself and a fellow Eagle Scout were being recommended for the Eagle Scout projects on the Garrison school board. So I want to thank you for having me back here. So yes, like Ms. Milano said, my name is Alec Mosick. I'm a current Garrison resident and alumnus of Garrison Union Free School, James I. O'Neill High School, and now Indiana University Bloomington as of this past May. Indiana University Bloomington also where I focused and majored in international relations, Russian and Eastern European area studies, and diplomacy, security, and governance. Now, my path from Garrison Union Free School graduation to today will be covered. But I would like to focus primarily on my experience, my experiences later on in my James O'Neill career, as well as what I've achieved and sought to do post O'Neill. Nevertheless, I graduated as a proud Garrison graduate in 2016 after transferring to Garrison from a nearby Cold Spring. After we had moved after my 7th grade. Nevertheless, I adjusted well, and Garrison welcomed me with open arms and offered a lot of opportunities for a small school to engage in immersive learning, whether it was participating in musicals here, going on several history-based field trips, day trips, and overnight trips, and even participating in a science fair that allowed me to go to more of a regional science fair. I was able to take advantage of all these opportunities at Garrison, for which I'm very thankful, and allowed me to prepare myself for James O'Neill High School. Now, I chose O'Neill because Garrison taught me to try new things. After all, that's what I had to do when I came to Garrison for my first year being 8th grade. And Ms. Milano was great in the transition over to O'Neill. And O'Neill offers countless academic programs, as you saw on the presentation, that I was fortunate enough to partake in. And so my experience went just like that. And despite COVID looming on the horizon, using my senior year as a case study, I was still able to partake in finish out my senior person's boys soccer season. I was able to take actually the super course in economics, as well as the SUNY Orange County course for Spanish level 5. So I as a Garrison graduate, was able to take those advanced classes offered by O'Neill, and I would recommend that to any student that goes through that path as well. And I was able to partake in a lot of clubs and non-academic organizations such as Youth in Government as well, where I was fortunate enough to be able to be elected by Orange County residents, students I should say, as the mock New York State Attorney General. Yeah, so GIO provided me with a lot of great opportunities and the ability to not only go through high school while being guided and comforted, but also taught me to go after opportunities on my own and grow individually as well. So when it became time to look for colleges, I received a lot of great advice and assistance from O'Neill faculty and mentors such as Mr. Breitfeller, who I actually sat down with on several occasions to go through my current standing as an O'Neill student, what my post-grad goals were, and how I could go out and figure out ways to achieve them. Now, I graduated O'Neill in the height of COVID with an advanced regents diploma. Then I began my incredible 4 years at Indiana University Bloomington, a school that I chose not only because of its extensive alumni network, but because of its really incredible foreign language and international politics and studies programs, as well as the local quality of life in the beautiful town of Bloomington. Using the life lessons that I learned from my time at O'Neill, I took advantage of great opportunities while at Indiana. I participated in several internships, during which I worked closely alongside students and faculty and experts in academia, both from domestic and foreign backgrounds, and had the opportunity on several occasions to brief my internship projects in the political and national security fields to federal government and office and personnel, which was really an incredible opportunity for me and has even further solidified my desire to continue in the field. Now, I became deeply involved in the foreign language programs, as I said, at IU, and that culminated in, after 3 years of amongst my time as a foreign language student in the Estonian language at IU, I was approved by IU to go study abroad in Estonia for 6 months, where I took advantage of both academics and work while I was there. So I got to live, work, and study abroad as a result of the opportunities provided by Indiana University. Now, I graduated this past May, and IU has prepared me through work study programs, study abroad, meetings and conversations with industry level experts, and academic challenge and career prep courses to thrive in my future career. So now, as I continue reaching for new and unique opportunities in the field, I thank Garrison, O'Neill, and IU for providing me with the experience and knowledge necessary to thrive in the personal world. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Questions you're willing to answer.
Sure.
People jump in. One of the common ones we've had is, what made you choose O'Neill? I mean, you switched over to Garrison, 7th grade.
Yeah, at the end of 7th grade, that's correct, yes. Yeah, I only spent 1 year at Garrison because we moved just a couple miles down the road, but switched school districts. But I was very thankful for that place.
And what made you, of the choices at the time, what pushed you towards O'Neill?
Well, I knew that, so I have a lot of experience with school districts from across the county and the region because of that. But for the most part, I really just wanted a new challenge. A lot of my close friends from Garrison were going to O'Neill, and for very good reason. Many of my friends that I graduated with in 2016 from Garrison went to O'Neill with me and are now doing very successfully in their own right. And so I knew that O'Neill would set me up because I had seen through presentations from O'Neill administration and trips to O'Neill to see what O'Neill had to offer, that O'Neill would be the best fit to allow me to be best prepared for life post high school. And I like to believe that turned out the way I was hoping it would. So. Sure.
Before you graduated, did you have access to the new employment that you built?
Unfortunately not, but I will say the caveat was that I did get to play my senior year on West Point because of the construction going on at O'Neill High School. So I have no complaints there. But I did get to go see, actually, I believe last Monday, I went to go for the first time back to O'Neill's new field to watch the boys play, and they put up a heck of a score. So that was fun. Yeah.
I have one question. So you mentioned West Point. What is it? O'Neill's team? Do you have a lot of interaction on those teams? Obviously, you have classmates who talk about those, but you describe how West Point impacts your graduation.
Absolutely. Many of my very good friends in high school were some of the first friends that I made at O'Neill, and many of those people were West Point residents, students of professors and military staff on post. I genuinely believe that is something that isn't talked about enough, is that the connections that and experiences and perspectives that you hear from West Point students are unmatched compared to any other high school experience in its own right, of course. I think, for example, several of my friends that I made through soccer or even just at O'Neill had lived all over the world. Germany, Korea, Japan, and several of them had picked up languages while they were overseas as well. Obviously, many very good stories too. So I think those perspectives I really value from being around those perspectives, and I think those are relationships that Garrison students and Highland Falls Fort Montgomery students don't take for granted, because there are many really incredible and accomplished people from West Point who send their students to O'Neill, and those are individuals that you get to be friends with and connected with for life.
Any other questions?
So to this point, and I had this conversation with Dan before, I'm going to age myself, a 91 graduate of O'Neill. And some of my really good friends still are Garrison students and West Point students. Just the connections you make there, it's different. You have three communities that come together. It's almost kind of like college. Like you go to a college and you meet also all new. Like when you go to this high school within where you live, it's a lot of the kids, unless you're in a really, really big city where it's draws from multiple schools, it's the same kids that you're going to school with at different level. And that's what O'Neill offers, is that opportunity to meet from different communities and through way different experiences than yourself, which hopefully what happens in your life. You meet people, whether it's your job or where you're moving.
I did overhear you speaking before Dan about your process of Washington DC. And I just want to say, thanks for all of your positive experiences in Washington with you, because we meet many friends in Washington and many houses. So wear that t-shirt. You remind me of a lot of the meetings in my school of living. the conventional offices that we visit, they're very well represented, very well. So
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know your father, and everybody was very proud of your accomplishments, and they just want to produce the community to support the district. And just personal way, your father was so proud. You don't understand. Really, you know.
Well, thank you.
Do you have any other questions? Keep it moving then. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
I think I have the toughest job to follow our students. And first, I think to start off, as an educator, one of the most rewarding experiences to see students, whether it's current or former, come back and they talk about where they're at and where they're going and what they're doing. Truly, that's what education is all about. So thank you both for being here tonight. I'll make sure I have the right clicker. So as the presentation goes on, our main goal is to really talk and focus on student achievement and what our students are currently doing and the voice that they put into the education that they have here at O'Neill. So the current slide that you have up here identifies two specific areas. One of them is the new courses for the 24-25 school year. These courses are pretty much brand new, first time that we have ever offered them. And a lot of it came to be based on the feedback that we have with our students each and every year as we go through a course selection process. You can see that we have AP Computer Science Principles, AP English Language, History of Sports, Untold Stories of American History, Current Health Issues, and Spanish for Native Speakers. And I really enjoy the history of sports, not only being a sports buff myself, but it does really get to show and emulate what the students are thinking about day in and day out. And they were talking recently about Jackie Robinson and how he broke the barrier getting into baseball. So there's such an impact from the historical context. And to see students think about that and do research and discuss it, it was phenomenal. In addition, we also like to highlight some of the courses that we currently have that students are taking on a yearly basis. One of these typically tend to be some of our most popular courses that we have on campus. AP Environmental Science, Discovering Computer Science and Coding, English 12 Rise, which is the Rater Individualized Senior Experience, and I'll touch on that in just a few moments. Our 3D Design 1 and 2 is our woodshop program that we have. We are one of the few schools in Orange County that still has a fully functional woodshop. And when I say fully functional, I am talking band saws, table saws, all different kinds of saws. When they're going off, I am afraid to go in there from time to time. However, the material and the projects that are coming out there are truly incredible. We also offer computer graphics across 2 different platforms. It is broken up on a semester basis, but it is offered on a design and digital aspect, and then on an imaging, painting, and illustration piece. JROTC is a very popular program that we have. Approximately 130 to 135 students in a given year participated from grades 9 through 12. And I'm not going to put Jillian on the spot, but truly to see Jillian go from not even considering the program to now being one of the leaders in that program, it is truly phenomenal and huge. And the discussion of service is so critical in a program like this. You know, there is no requirement to go into the military after high school. But the leadership skills and the community service across all 3 of our communities that the students engage in is truly remarkable. Our students go down to the city and participate in the 9/11 Memorial Run, and they'll hold up signs of those who have passed. They'll participate in the color guard for the local events that we have. They come over on this side of the river and help out with the Desmond Fish Library. It's a phenomenal program from a leadership perspective, but also from a resume building perspective. We wanted to highlight 2 specific courses, our AP Research course and our English 12 course, because this is the individualized experience that students will get at O'Neill. This is completely student-driven. The AP Research, as Ms. Milano mentioned earlier, is the second of a 2-year sequence from our AP Capstone Diploma program. In the first year, they'll take AP Seminar. That program teaches the foundational skills of research, how to go about writing research papers, what topics are required to go into that, and what aspects will help you prepare for it. The second phase of that is the AP research course to it. So the 5 bubbles that you see on the presentation here tonight are actually all student topics of AP research that they've come up with over the course of the last couple of years. Now, I took out my phone. I apologize that I'm taking out my phone in advance. Truly, if I had all 5 research papers in front of me, we would be here all night, and I don't want to do that to you. But I did take a couple notes just to highlight a few of the projects that are up on here. And one of the first ones that we wanted to talk about was the AP burnout. We find it so unique that our students are even considering burnout in general in regards to academics. We see burnout across all different platforms today, whether it's from the college admissions process or the scholarship application process. So it's very unique to see a student bring up AP burnout and focus on how does that impact our students at O'Neill. This student broke his study up into 3 different groups. It was AP students in sports, AP students not in sports, or AP students that are in AP classes but in neither. The student used a quantitative survey in which 48 responses among the groups were collected. It was determined based on the research and the results that the student completed that students in AP courses, whether they're participating in a sport or not, felt burnout or possible symptoms of burnout on a weekly basis. So the key piece to that is on a weekly basis. And what sparked the question for us is, well, what are we doing to provide support for our students to make sure that we're meeting those needs? And it truly rose to a level of a great conversation that we had, and we've seen some changes and implemented some changes into our curriculum as a result of it. The next one I'd like to highlight is the effects of students' personal definitions of racism on the level of comfortability in racially charged conversations. This student used a mixed method approach, if you will, incorporating both quantitative and qualitative data to gather results. The student, after participating in the institutional review board, each student that submits a research topic does have to go through an IRB review board. That IRB review board is made up of not only administrators within the building, teachers, superintendents, both current and former, and also professors from West Point who have dived deep into research. This student learned that through his IRB process, it would be best to get permission slips to get consent from both not only parents but also students when conducting his research. What he did was he did a survey, and then he also did an interview process over the course of 2 weeks. In total for the survey, he received 65 participants or responses, if you will, from grades 9 through 12. What was interesting about his data is that the students who responded most came from 2 different grades primarily, and that was sophomores and also seniors. He had a great mix of a conversation with it. Additionally, he conducted 11 interviews. And through his research, he was able to conclude that different demographics have different personal definitions of racism and varying levels of comfortability with such conversations. Through the interviews, he was able to determine that people are willing to have the conversation. However, sometimes they're hesitant to start the conversation on their own. We have a wonderful DEI committee. And so a lot of the work that we're doing this year is going to kind of revolve around this and start emulating a little bit of the work that our students have done. And again, if it wasn't for this research topic, we wouldn't have had the ability to kind of even have these conversations and push through with it. So we're very appreciative of that work. In addition to AP research, we also have a program called English 12 Rise, which is a student's senior year individualized experience. Students are allowed to go out and conduct an internship with any field that they may seem interested in. As you can see, we've had several few pieces that we pulled out for this. Nursing, we've got a board member who is a nurse, and we've had a student go and shadow that board member across several different platforms from the work that they do. We've had students interested in the political landscape, and they've conducted an internship with former Assemblyman Schmidt. We've had students do sports broadcasting and play-by-play, and also students interested in filmmaking. And I apologize, I'm going to step off to the side because I do want to show you some of the student work. So one of the key aspects of this presentation is the portfolio that students create. They are required to create their own websites that they can take anywhere they go for any networking purposes or for any college interviews. It is essentially a one-stop shop to highlight the work that they're doing. This particular student, he was known as the voice of O'Neill last year prior to graduating. He spoke or conducted every play-by-play for a football game since his freshman year, except his senior year, because he decided that he wanted to play football his senior year, and he went on to play football senior year. However, whether it was a volleyball event, whether it was a basketball event, wherever it may be, it was his voice that you heard over the loudspeaker conducting play-by-play for each game. He was torn in between what he wanted to do as far as college goes, and so ultimately he determined that he wanted to do an internship with the West Point Athletics Department, particularly in the broadcasting booth. As he got into the broadcasting booth, he had the ability to kind of try a few different areas to see ultimately what would be his best fit. And ultimately, he did go on to Syracuse University, where he's now participating in not only broadcasting, but some journalism as a side to it. He truly said it was a wonderful experience and a great aspect to be. I'm going to switch again. I do apologize for going back and forth from the podium. The next piece is a student who is very interested in filmmaking. I'm going to play a little trailer for you first, okay?
Since the dawn of man, raccoons have always roamed Earth. They've studied us and they're evolving. Question, please. Do you think raccoon people are real? They're out there waiting to get me.
Thank you for indulging me on that. You're probably wondering why did I show that film in particular. First and foremost, every step of the way in regards to the work that went behind it was solely done by that student. But the biggest piece that resonates with us as educators also resonates, I think, a little bit with what Alec was talking about and Jillian, is the connection that students make. All three of our student populations, Garrison, Highland Falls, and Fort Montgomery, and West Point, were all students as part of this cast. And it's those connections that students make to really be able to then tap into them come senior year and say, hey, I need you to be a member of my cast. I'm doing a movie. And truly, he did a wonderful, phenomenal job with the work that he put into it. And it was a great piece to see. If you're wondering, I did ask why he chose raccoon, and he said, well, raccoons raid food, so they're like raiders. I said, well done, I like it. Really quickly, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Milano, who's going to talk a little bit about the current statistics for Garrison, and then I will be right back.
So we currently do have 26 total Garrison students in school this year. I would say that the majority of the Garrison students really are taking, participating in our honors, our accelerated courses, whether it's AP, SUBRA, or OP. We currently have two of our seniors who are involved in the OE System Tech program, in the animal science program, as well as in the aviation program. And then this is a list, a comprehensive list of the colleges and universities of where Garrison graduates have been attending since 2016. So it's quite a variety. You have some Ivies, you have some top tier schools, but then you also have students who decide to stay closer to home and are at, community colleges. So really, the students have really been prepared. As I said earlier, I meet with students in 9th grade, but then we have two counselors, Mrs. Mackey and Ms. Ford, who split the grade levels according to the alphabet. And there's a lot of post-secondary planning. We work with Naviance, where we have students from 9th grade on to see career interest inventories, personality interest inventories, resume writing, creating college lists, and then financial aid workshops, a whole plethora of information that's given to students really from the minute they step into our building to when they graduate, so that they can end up wherever that might be to study whatever it is that they're interested in. And then I'm going to toss it right back to Mr. Brightfellow to talk about
Additionally, at O'Neill, we do have something for everybody when it comes to whatever path that they choose to take. Athletics being one of them. What you see on this slide here is all the sports that we have broken down by the 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring. A couple key pieces that I like to highlight here is new to what we've brought to campus within the last couple years. Game day cheer was brand new last year. We are really working hard to try to get girls flag football running by spring of 2026. We've surveyed our students and there seems to be a lot of interest in that. We've also opened up and started offering boys and girls bowling. However, if there is something that you are interested in, like we have an equestrian program here. We're one of the few schools in Orange County that offers an equestrian program as well too. A variety of different pieces, and we're incredibly proud of the program that we have and the work that our students do, not only from academic achievement, but from athletic achievement too. To kind of highlight some of those athletic achievements, this is the accomplishments that our students have from the 23-24 school year. And I'm actually going to start in reverse. I'm actually going to start with number 11 because one of the things that we are most proud of is the mirror of academics and athletics. We had 11 scholar athlete teams last year, and you must maintain a minimum of a 90 GPA as a team as a whole in order to achieve that. So for 11 of our programs to achieve that over the course of the 3 seasons is incredibly phenomenal. We're extremely proud of that. Our football team last year was a Class C Final Four. Game day cheer for the first time being in the program. Not only were they Section 9 champions, but they also finished 5th in the state. We have our girls cross country who are Section 9 champions and 7 students who raced in the New York City individually. Girls soccer was a Section 9 champs and also a regional finalist. Competitive cheer, Section 9 champs. I can go on and on and on, and I won't read the whole entire slide for the evening, but it's incredible the work that our students do on the field, and we're extremely proud of it. In addition to that, several years ago, concluding I think in the 2020 year, we went through a major renovation, roughly right around $23 million to upgrade the facilities here at IONEO. One of the key pieces to that was our athletic facilities. And if we were at school today, we would take a walk out and show you those, but we figured we'd bring the pictures to you to kind of give you a sense of what it looks like. It includes a completely brand new turf fields, both on our upper lot and our lower lot, tennis courts, as well as facilities inside the building too. That includes a brand new cardio room and a weight room for our students. We also upgraded our science labs and brought everything up to ADA compliance as part of the process. In addition, September 2023, we installed a brand new basketball floor, and we are the only school in Orange County that has a state-of-the-art volleyball system. I know when I was in high school, the poles used to go into the ground, and then during the season, you'd have to cover up and we'd create dead spots on the floor. Ours actually come down from the ceiling and go back up. What makes this so wonderful for our students is not only the experience that they get to play, but we're proud of the facilities that we have, and we get to show it off to the Section 9 programs that we have here. And so what you see on this next slide is not only our students taking advantage of it, but those in the section and in New York State. We're incredibly proud to invite the section in New York State to come and to participate either in section championships or regional championships and take advantage of the facilities that we have here. We've become basically a partner with Section 9 and New York State in that process. So in summary, first and foremost, we want to thank the boards for having us tonight. The question that we always tend to ask ourselves is why O'Neill? And truly, we could stand here and go on and on and on about how proud we are with our students, but the work that they do is what emulates and brings it forward. These are some of the highlights that we have for O'Neill. We were highlighted in the U.S. News World Report as being number 7 in the Poughkeepsie, New York metro area. In the last couple of years, we've been in the top 3. We have been recognized as a New York Reward School. We are part of the AP College Board School Honor Roll program, where we've earned silver recognition. And one of the key pieces to that too is they focus on 3 different criteria, college optimization being a key piece. From last year to this year, we went from gold to platinum, which is the highest that you can go. And basically what that means is students had the ability to take 5 or more AP courses during their time within the high school setting. And research shows that students who participate in an AP course, regardless of the score that they get, are set up tenfold to be successful at the college level. We offer our AP capstone program, which we talked about a little bit before. We have 17 different AP course offerings within any given year. And the reason why we say within any given year is because there are some times where a student might be interested in a course such as AP Music Theory. We have it. If a student is interested, we'll get them on the track so they can be prepared to take the exam at the end of the year. The 3 foreign language options, the dual and Reddit courses that you talked about tonight. We're incredibly proud of our NMSI, which is the National Math and Science Initiative. Last year, we were awarded a $103,000 grant through this program to enhance our curriculum for STEM with an AP College Board focus. And that directly goes to our students. It's enhancing the equipment that they use within the science labs, upgrading the calculators that they're using day in and day out. We spoke briefly about our JROTC program. We have over 30 extracurricular clubs and activities, 23 different sports across the 3 seasons. One piece that we also like to touch on is our expanded day program. Again, we are the only school in Orange County, having been a graduate of a school in Orange County, that offers a program like this. Expanded day is run Tuesday through Friday from 1:54 to 2:24 in the afternoon. As a former college admissions counselor, I kind of look at it as like a college admissions viewing process. A student can go to any teacher during that time for any extra support that they need. Sometimes they'll get that one-on-one tutoring for a test that's coming up. Sometimes they'll be working with a group going over an assignment that they just recently had. Sometimes they may have been out for a day and they come make up a test that they may have missed. What's phenomenal about that program is none of our extracurricular activities start during expanded day. They don't start until 2:30. So it allows our students to participate in it. And I would say roughly about 99% of our students typically do it in any given day. And then finally, we also offer a robust band and choral program at James Henry High School. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this Sunday, this Sunday, our select choir was recognized and will be performing at NISBA. 3 pieces?
So we're fortunate enough that our school was selected out of all the schools in New York State to do the opening ceremony. So they're doing the national anthem, I believe 5 or 6 additional pieces that they'll be singing. They're really the highlight of the program. I supposed to say that, but we're extremely proud. They had to go through a pretty in-depth process to get that. So we have a great chorus teacher. We asked, "Could you do this?" He said, "I can't, but they can." And the kids were wonderful. They prepared for it. So we're very, very excited to see our kids perform. I said earlier, I'm extremely nervous. And Faith said, "Why you don't have to perform? Our kids are going to knock it out of the park." But it's just, just another highlight of our students and the teachers who want the best out of them and will push them and also support them.
Many of you are going to
Thank you. And looking ahead, these are 2 important dates for our Garrison community. We will be hosting a Garrett Parent Night at James O'Neill High School on Tuesday, November 19th at 6:30 in the evening. If it does snow, it will be the 20th. In addition to that, we will also be hosting an 8th grade visit on Thursday, November 21st. More details to come. Mrs. Milano will share that with our representatives from here. Again, snow date will be the 22nd. If you have any questions at any given point in time after tonight's presentation or after we leave today, this is our contact information. Feel free to reach out to the school for anything. Also, follow us on social media. We have a really great presence and we're growing on social media. And truly, day in and day out, that's where you get to see the work going on, not only in our building, but all 3 of our buildings that we have, or our intermediate school and our high school. And with that, I will go back to the slide in a minute, but thank you all for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for taking us along that tour. We have a number of new board members. It's been a while since we've gotten to hear this wonderful presentation. I really appreciate the time and energy that went into it and the level of depth that you went into that program. Really appreciate it. I can see in the great parents that have been out on flyers. So excited for that. Do you have any questions from our board? Reach out later too. I have a wonderful relationship with Anne. I really appreciate how inclusive you've been in our school. So I can always reach out with questions at any time. Open channel community. Go ahead and keep us moving. And I see in the back, which I didn't realize, we're going to shift things around here and get the superintendent's report and go right on board recognition. We'll get back to it, right?
That's okay.
If it's all right, there's a number of young people here that I didn't expect this evening, and I have a feeling it's due to this lovely sign up here. So maybe, Ms. Meg, if we could invite them to make a turn over to you.
Thank you very much. Awesome. If I can have you come up with the presentation, I appreciate it. So, 1 second, team, I promise. As the superintendent of schools, I just want to say I'm deeply grateful to our dedicated school board members. Their tireless efforts are crucial to building a strong community through strong schools. These individuals invest, and trust me, I know, countless hours to ensure our schools elevate every child's learning experience. Each month, we face challenging decisions, spend a significant amount of time understanding educational issues, talking about policy, regulation, and upholding accountability to our community. School board members, provide the Garrison community with a voice in educational decision making. Although we highlight our appreciation in October, the dedication is evident throughout this school year. So thank you for your unwavering commitment to our students, staff, and community. However, I think you're done hearing from me, and I have some special guests here that are really more important that are going to help me honor all of you. So Annabelle, I see, is here, Hudson's here, Lucy's here, Knox, Brady, who am I missing? I think we have some. Dora, come on up.
Come on, let's go, guys.
All right, so who wants to go first? Lucy?
So, Lucy, ready?
Okay, Lucy. Here's your card. Want us to read it?
Lucy would like to say, thank you for your hard work. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Lucy worked really hard today at the office. Yes, her words.
And thank you so much. You're awesome.
You don't want to go. Annabelle, would you like to go? I appreciate it.
I just want to say a few words about my mom and all her members. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and just spending countless hours helping our school and making it just such a great place. My mom loves watching board games at different times. She should be doing other stuff. She's watching. And then my mom's working really hard to make this school better. Thank you very much.
Hudson? Good.
We appreciate your hard work in these countless hours you spend. And sharing our school is a great place to learn. Thank you.
Thanks for everything you do for our school district. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Colby. Thank you, Grady. Thank you, Knox, thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. You here with your sister? Yeah.
Thank you for working hard on the Board of Education.
Just so you know, Peter, I had to show him what was in the bag today, and he said you're sharing it. Right, Knox? All right. Okay. Now, well, Jen is not here today, but we'll present that. But can you give this to Mrs. Apicella, too? And thank you. You want to do that? Thank you, Jocelyn, for all your hard work and years of dedication and your work. Okay, and I would like our friends to stay up here, and I want to thank the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery Board for joining us. In honor of New York State School Board Recognition Week, we'd like to give you a token of our appreciation for your partnership over the many, many years which we've run this evening. And so if I can ask our friends to take one of these bags and find the matching card, we may need our 8th graders to help out. We want to thank you on behalf of the Garrison School District. Thank you for your partnership and service.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we can just give you the bags and any board members that are not here, please share that with them. No. Friends, thank you so much. You can now go home and do your homework.
Brush your teeth.
That's it. Restore the
Thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you parents for bringing your students in.
Just on behalf of our board and our district, for our great partnership, and it is for Appreciation Week. So we brought some maroon mums for all of you. We won't pass it out because we didn't have the water a little while ago. Just our friendship and our partnership. We know how hard you work. They know how hard you work, and vice versa. So it is a long day, a long night. You have a lot of responsibility. So we thank you for what you do for this community and for our community as well. So thank you very much. And please take one home. And if they're not here, maybe somebody can. Just kidding. So thank you very much. We really appreciate you being here. This is a great night for us.
Thank you so much, and I want to say you're welcome to stay as long as you want. I'm really excited for your jump out and Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
She'll be feeling better.
Good night.
Are you guys coming down?
Yes, we are.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
I didn't know, and I'm sure you want to make sure. Thank you so much. So great taking the time to appreciate everyone, and thank you.
Thank you. I promise I won't be afraid. The students stole the show. I just want to give, thank you, I want to give Board of Education and community members that have watched this at some point, just another little bit of lens into our classroom. Just remind everybody, next week is Dear Week. Drop everything and read. We're going to have guest authors, mystery readers, book fair. More information will come out in the principal's update. Working with details and final touches today. Everybody's favorite topic, roofs. I'm happy to report that our emergency roof project repair is underway over the weekend. While no one was here, we were able to do the abatement portion of it. That was completed successfully. Everything else is staged, ready to go. The projected completion time is at the end of this week to have a full repair of that old 1908 roof. And thank you, Joe, and your team for maybe moving this as long as quickly as possible. We're lucky we didn't have a lot of rain, but that can change quickly. So we appreciate the work that's been done. Last, just a little bit of public service announcement. This weekend is our Fall PTA Fall Festival from 12 to 2 at the Garrison Pavilion. Games, chili cook-off, bouncy house, crafts, proceeds go to the best PTA class. So I hope everybody will join me in celebrating this fall festival with the PTO. I'm going to do it every meeting just to remind parents, even though Krista does a great job at sending this information out. We heard about the O'Neill dates. Putnam Valley Student Tours are November 13th, parent presentation on November 18th, Haldane Student Tours on November 6th, and parent presentation on November 6th as well. That information will continue to go out in the rather than that, so that concludes my superintendent's report. Is there any questions?
Thank you very much, Karen. Appreciate it. Now we are moving on to public comment. We've got the public running, but no. Public comment is intended for members of the community to speak openly and voice concerns in accordance with policy 1510 of the Garrison Union School District. Any person wishing to speak shall comply with all provisions of the policy. Comments about specific school personnel or individual students in violation of the policy. Concerns regarding students and personnel should be discussed privately with the superintendent or appropriate administrator. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes, and speakers are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. The board will listen to comments but will not engage in dialogue. Any necessary follow-up will be noted and provided through the appropriate channel. Members of the public wishing to comment during board meetings are asked to place their name and town of residence on the sign sheet. Commenters will be invited to the podium to address the board. Next up, we have, all right, yes. So for the board goals, I have, everyone has a printed draft. This takes the edits, I think Dawson and Jen had a few, and combines that. I think this is right, I think it's right. Okay. Yeah. I wrote what we talked about it. Yeah. That's what So I think this gets us to what we discussed. If we are comfortable with it, we can move on to adopting it this evening. Anybody have any other thoughts, changes on this before we move on? Goal 1, next generation learning. Goal 2, community engagement. Goal 3, responsible fiscal financial stewardship. The only thing I would say is if we want goals for the next generation, I know they were in the draft. I would think it moved out. Yeah, I think that was. There's a point. Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead. May I have a motion to adopt the board goal for 2024? Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Nay. Abstention. Thank you all for your efforts on your goals. I know this will help Craig and the work on this goal, which is already a lot of progress. There's a delay on our all right, I'm going to go on to supplement. The resolved Board of Education of the Garrison Union Preschool District does hereby accept the minutes of the regular business meeting on October 1st, 2024 as presented. May I have a motion, please? Thank you. Any questions or comments on the minutes as presented? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Nay. Abstention. Moving on to the treasurer's report and claims audit report. The resolved Board of Education of the Garrison Union Preschool District hereby accepts the treasurer's report for June 2024, July 2024, August 2024, and September 2024 as presented, and further accepts the claims audit report for September 2024 as presented. May I have a motion, please? I did have a comment on the claims audit report. It does say there was one department that there was a payment that went out without a purchase order that was recommended. Could we ask the claims auditors to let go of the department?
It's operations and maintenance.
Oh, okay.
We had a repair that we didn't have a PO in before.
operation status report. I know we had some contractors come in for various repairs on facilities, with the septic tank issues and whatnot. What budget line are we taking that out with? Where would I see that in the?
It's in one of the operations funds, so it'll be, we'll start with a 1620, so it'll probably be either 1620 or 1621, either 1620 415 outside contractors or 1620 412 repairs, or it could also be 1621. So operations, 1620, and maintenance is 1621. They're sort of interchangeable.
Does anyone else have any questions on all of this report? I know we had a lot to do even the audit.
Yeah, so what happens is, until the audit report is finalized, you can't carry forward the balance from the prior year. Everything sort of is in limbo for a bit. But then once that's accepted and everything's posted, then you can bring the balance forward and reconcile all the things together. That's what we've done, and now we're all caught up to the current.
One other question on there. The numbers not quite right for 814, for 814 with starting to see the increase in transactions. So that's 31. So that's 32 transactions. 31 based on starting in 92.
Yeah, yeah, we can amend it, adopt the revised one.
Yeah, well, there's something for it that we just
Yeah, let's just say we have a question. So we'll bring the report back. Any other questions on the treasury report, distribution report, any of these things? I'm going to go ahead then and move to a vote, but we're going to do the applicant audit report for September 24th. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Abstention. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the personnel items. Next agenda, the result Board of Education of the Garrison Preschool District on recommendation of students and is hereby approve the items of the personnel agenda as presented. May I have a motion, please? Thank you. I know there was one you wanted to speak to,
Yeah, I want to speak to two items on this, if you don't mind. First is two non-certified per diem subs. We had the opportunity to bring on two more per diem subs, Mark Skinners and McDowell. I met both of them. One is in process of getting a certification, and one is certified in another state, also in process of getting New York State certification. These are two individuals that I think can really assist us. Today is one example of having subs in the building, but not having enough subs that we needed for all the things that were going on today. Bringing on two more subs would help us when we're a little bit short in coverage. So I'm really excited about these two individuals. I think they have a lot of experience both in schools and with students, even if it's not in the state, but we really are excited about their work. The second one is the replacement of a custodial worker in groundskeeper. Again, I had the opportunity, Joe has had the opportunity to go through an extensive interview process, and Trimble is a individual that we're bringing to the board for consideration this evening. to do our evening shift of facility. Joe, I was really impressed with Ed. I think he's going to be a nice fit to the Garrison community. He's really excited about working here and continuing the tradition of our facilities, having great pride in how our schools look and ensuring that when our students come in and our staff come in, and guests come in, and families come in, that it's a warm, inviting, and clean space. I know you had a few things you wanted to tell the board about your interaction with Ed.
Yes, so it's our impression of him is he has a lot of experience with groundskeeping and grounds maintenance, but I think overwhelming to everything with what he has to say is I think he really wants to make an impression and make an impact on the school and to really do a good job. Very conscientious in all of his references, basically bear that out as well. And he is someone that is reasonably local to the area, which is also very good because when it sells, we got to have our old here, and when you do that, it's nicer that people are close. We're very excited that he's going to be able to start tomorrow. That will mean that Mike isn't burning the candle at all day.
And I do want to thank Michael for pitching in and filling in, and even Joe has picked up a room a couple nights and I want to thank Joe for really making sure that our students and their staff know that when they come into school each day. And I really thank Mike for spending his extra time with us and Joe for pitching in and making sure people.
Thank you. All right, we're going to vote then. All in favor? Please say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Moving on to new business, we have 3 separate resolutions. I'm going to read the recommended action. There is a lot here that is available on board docs for anyone in the public to see regarding this. So I'm not going to go read through the whole thing. You're welcome.
What is this acronym?
It's an environmental acronym. Essentially, it is you have to evaluate whether or not your work that you're going to do is going to have an environmental impact. So you have to make a determination on if it's going to have a moderate impact, a big impact, or no impact, and then you classify it. All 3 of these are classified as type 2 actions, which means it has little to no impact on the environment, and it is type 2 is also modification or repairs to an existing building. That's what all 3 of these are categorized.
And it's state environmental quality review, because we love acronyms in education. We can't get it out. Yeah, we could, but that's an outfit.
We're not going to do that. We also do need to do a roll call vote on all of these. Discussion for the resolution. So, oh yeah, we're going to have approval of the secret resolution, electric water meter project. The Utah Board of Education of the Garrison Preschool District hereby approves the following secret resolution for the electric water meter project. Again, it is listed online. May I have a motion? Okay. Jesse, want to call your name? Yes or no? Jocelyn Apicella? Yes. Eric Arnold?
Yes.
Jennifer? Yes. Dan Jasnow?
Yes.
Peter Lesser?
Yes.
Ken Schott?
Yes.
Eric Martin? Yes. We move on to the approval for the secret resolution emergency 1908 roof repair. The Utah Board of Education of Garrison Union Preschool District hereby approves the following secret resolution for the emergency 1908 roof repair. Mr. Bush, online. May I have a motion, please? Yes. Call the roll for Jesse. Jocelyn Apicella? Yes. Eric Arnold? Dan Jasnow?
Yes.
Peter Lesser? Yes. Ken Schott?
Yes.
Sarah Torrance? Yes. Next up, we have the approval of secret resolution gymnasium roof repair. The Israel Board of Education of the Garrison Union Preschool District hereby approves the following secret resolution for gymnasium roof repair. On board docs, may I have a motion, please? Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilman Monticello? Yes. Eric Arnold?
Yes.
Dan Jaffno?
Yes.
Peter Lesser?
Yes.
Ed Schott?
Yes.
Sarah Torrance?
Yes. Thank you very much. Moving on, we have the approval of settlement agreement, the Israel Board of Education of the Garrison Union Preschool District authorizing and accepting the execute the agreement discussed in executive session to resolve special education matters involving students 17 for the may I have a motion, please? All in favor, please say aye. Nay. Abstention. Thank you very much. We come to the second public comment section. I'm going to read my paragraph again. We still have no public, so that brings us to board member comment. Jocelyn?
Thanks to O'Neill, that was actually shockingly good and well-attended presentation. I'm sorry that I came late. Thank you, O'Neill.
I think it's good. It is person. Okay.
No, just ditto, I think actually it's, important to hear, students, which I thought was great. And, yeah, there's also, thanks to Joe for, working with, Aaron, just having a lot, really, again.
Yeah. Dan?
That was better.
You? Peter? Ken? You know the outcome of the most okay.
It was a scrimmage.
Wait, who did that?
Because
Oh.
it's 8-man football. Or 9. But it was a enjoyable experience.
All right, my only comment this evening is there is a Sunday in the future, dinner, that we would like to attend, registered through Dusty. This is, they're going to be speaking about New York State Foundation Day formula, so it might be really interesting. It's Thursday, November 14th, 2024. It's 30 at Tilly Foster Farm. So you may have received it. And if you get, it's a great opportunity. If you get one, then I got to be great at it. But if there's something that I'm doing, I think, whether it be a speaking event, networking event, whatever it is, foundation, just let Betsy know. She'll let me know. Usually, it's all that people these are very honest to be a great opportunity for board members to learn more about what's happening. Sort of stated thinking, what they're doing. Have you found them helpful? Yeah. Some of them are online. So I did the legal one a couple years ago. It's fascinating. We have like 2 days of